Hey everyone, RogueGold here. Today we've got the first video in a new series I'm going to be doing called Predictions Mark. Get it? Anyway, November is really going to be the final month with no new info on Division 2. Come December, we're going to get the reveal of the Dark Zone, which I'm so excited for. And then in January, we're most likely going to get the beta. Then after that, new footage and features will be popping up left and right. So since I'm dying with anticipation, I decided to make this series leading up to the new information. Today we're starting off with armor, skills, and talents. And I think that this format of grouping three somewhat similar topics together is going to be what I'll do for the rest of the series. Let's get started. So, armor. We know that endgame armor will revolve around three big things, well, four technically. High ends, gear sets, brand sets, and I suppose exotics now warrant their own category since they should play a much bigger role. I had always hoped that gear sets didn't return, instead opting for a much wider variety of viable high-end talents to work together. After they confirmed the gear sets to be returning, I asked Terry Spear when he was on a stream if they were going to make gear sets less powerful and just as viable as high-ends. While obviously he wasn't able to give details, he said that he'd imagine I'd be happy with the changes they were making based off my high-end mentality. My hope for gear sets is that they followed the similar structure some of the new gear talents do, where in order to unlock the gear set abilities, you not only need to have however many pieces of said set, but you need to follow certain requirements, such as having under 100,000 health, over a certain amount of skill power, whatever it may be. This way, they can streamline exactly what kind of builds we'll be using these abilities to a degree, and hopefully bring a lot more balance. I don't have much to say about the other sections here. High-end armor we've been told can have 2 talents now, so that should be interesting. I'm very excited to see what kinds of talents these buffed exotics will have. Still really happy about that exotic lock chain. As for brand sets, giving it some thought, I've realized how much this will deepen the loot game and should add some longevity to a hopefully much more enjoyable and entertaining grind, provided the content we get is plentiful, replayable, and rewarding. Just imagine the last piece you need for a build is a chest piece, and on it you need health, enemy armor damage, ammo capacity. Side note, this is just in the context of Div 1, we don't entirely know what will be on the new gear rolls in Div 2. So those rolls, 2 specific talents you want, and the right brand. Assuming you can still only recalibrate 1 stat, that's a lot of things that need to go right. Let's just hope this deepened grind isn't too unforgiving. Perhaps it could prove just to be too brutal. I suppose we'll just need to be prepared for the worst. Alright, moving on, we've got skills. Now we've seen 4 of the skills in the game so far, 3 of which are brand new, the Hive, Chem Launcher, and Drone, and then we have 1 that's returning, which is the Seeker Mine. Despite them not showing it yet, we know of 2 skills that are returning additionally, and those are the Shield and Turret. We know this from the E3 demos having bonuses to these skills rolled on gear worn during the demo. Aside from knowing what skills are, we really don't know what progression path these will take, like if we'll still have mods and or master mods. All we know is that a certain bonus will be granted to a specific skill when you choose a specialization. However, it won't lock you into using this skill. My prediction is that we'll unlock skills and their respective mods in a similar fashion to Division 1, either through base progression or story mission rewards. Each skill will probably have 3 mods still, however I think that the third one will be reserved for the specialization bonus they've mentioned. This would keep the same depth to skills while adding some control on the dev side by pairing certain mods with certain focused specializations. For example, the healing mod for the Chem Launcher may be tied to the survivalist specialization, since they seem to be a bit of a utility class. Overall, the only real change we know of are the new skills, which seem pretty cool themselves. I'm really excited about the Chem Launcher since it seems like it'll be a more creative skill in the sense that you can use it to do many different things, and you can benefit from placing it strategically rather than just shooting it right in front of you. The only concern I see for skills is how some of them may become a bit redundant. Why would I use a stationary turret when I can use a drone that does the same thing but flies around? Or why would I use the Hive when I can use a Seeker Mine that'll go further and come to the same explosive conclusion? I'm sure that the devs have thought of this and are made adjustments accordingly, so let's hope skills are viable and powerful, unlike Div 1, RIP Smart Cover. Lastly, I wanted to address balance. I really hope that skills are balanced this time around. I've always been a supporter of the idea that if you fully spec into skill power, you should one-shot, but only if you fully spec into it. One thing that may help achieve some more balance regarding skills is specific skill power bonuses we've seen on gear, where you can specifically roll plus Hive skill power, for example. This way, you might be able to have a very strong offensive skill by speccing into it, however your healing skill might not be as effective. However it goes, I just hope skills fit well into the cover-based aspect of the game, and it doesn't become an entirely skill-oriented game with people throwing explosives at one another from behind cover. Last, but certainly not least, we have talents. To clarify, I'm talking about the talents you unlock through base progression, the ones accessible in the skill menu, not gear weapon talents. I've always thought that talents seemed a little out of place, the same way I feel about a lot of aspects of the Boo, really. Once you hit endgame, especially after the 1.4 rework, There's so many things that get left in the dust that you often forget that they're there. I'll delve into the boon and other predictions, Mark, but specifically regarding talents, I hope they're solely integrated with specialization skill trees. This way they'll be much more relevant as they'll be an endgame feature exclusively, and they should be more exciting and relevant to your playstyle as they would specifically complement your specialization and the playstyle that encourages. Alright everyone, well that's the 3 topics for today's predictions, Mark. I hope everyone enjoyed. I have a bit of a roadmap planned in my head of what topics I want to cover next, but if there are any aspects of Division 2 that we don't know much about yet, and that you want to hear my thoughts on them, go ahead and leave them down in the comments below. I'll do my best to incorporate them into the next one. If you like this video, make sure and hit that like button, and if you want more Division 2 speculation and news videos, then be sure to subscribe and check out everything we've got, and be ready for when more stuff drops. That being said, until the next one guys, RogueGold, out.